هبقى عندي 30 سنة. جملة بتخوف كتير قوي من الشباب اللي هم في العشرينات ومقربين على ال30. هم مش خايفين من ال30 عشان العمر بيمر، هم خايفين من ال30 لأن ال30 بتجبرهم إن هم يحققوا حاجات معينة قبل ما يوصلوا للسن ده. على الأقل لازم يكون عندهم شغلانة ثابتة بيكسبوا منها فلوس كويسة، وكمان إن هم يكونوا متجوزين أو على الأقل مخطوبين في طريقهم للجواز. حرية حزينة، الرواية اللي معانا النهاردة رواية بتحكي عن بنت عندها 29 سنة اسمها هنا. هنا دي مشكلتها في الحياة زي مشكلة شباب كتير في كل الوطن العربي. شباب ما عندهمش شغل، شباب ما عندهمش علاقة عاطفية مستقرة، عليهم ضغوط مجتمعية كتير جدا. هنا بتقرر تسيب وطنها وبتروح ألمانيا، برلين بالتحديد، علشان تحضر برنامج تدريبي أملاً إن هي تلاقي الوظيفة اللي بتحلم بيها. هنا بتاخد قرار مهم جداً، وإن هو بتسيب حبيبها علشان تحقق طموحها. هل هنا هتقدر تحقق طموحها؟ إيه اللي هيحصل وهي موجودة لوحدها في برلين؟ كل ده هتعرفوه لما تقروا رواية حرية حزينة. النهارده احنا بنستضيف الكاتبة، كاتبة الرواية فريدريكه فاينر، وهي هتكون معانا عن طريق مقابلة على برنامج زوم. هنعمل معاها الانترفيو. ده فرصة حلوة قوي ان احنا نكلم حد. احنا دلوقتي في مصر وهو في النمسا، وكمان بنصور من المركز الثقافي النمساوي، وزي ما انتم شايفين النيل في الخلفية. يا رب الحلقة دي تكون مختلفة بالنسبة لكم. انا مي مجدي وانتم بتتفرجوا على من الآخر.
My first question is, after reading the novel, I felt like turning to 30 is an international issue. It's not something local we have in Egypt or in Australia or in one country. It's like it happens everywhere in the world. So even me, I had experienced this concerns and fears before turning 30, because like Hannah's fears, like everyone fears. Do you think this fears or coming from our minds as a young people, or it's somehow coming from a community pressure or culture thing?
Yeah, well, I think it's of course it's linked to culture or to society, even because when you're turning 30, I think it does not matter in which society at all. You have reached a certain age, and it is expected of you that you have achieved something. So you should be earning your own money. You should have a relationship. It's just what you should maybe even have a family in some societies, not so much in the Western society, but it's all what you see, what is advertised in the media and what others have. And so it's you think you should have managed to achieve this. And if you don't have, like Hannah in the book, she's turning 30 and she's no job practically. She's just a waitress, and she has no boyfriend. Yeah, you kind of naturally feel like a loser. So, and I wanted to write about this because I think it's not so easy to manage to achieve all this with 30. At least not in Europe. I think it's very hard to get a job with a regular steady income. And also with relationships, I think it's kind of volatile. It's not so which has good aspects too, but it's not so easy anymore that you, like in your mid-20s, you marry a man and then you're having a family. It was like this some decades ago. It's not anymore like this. So it's much more like an adventure, growing up and becoming an adult, and it's all about losing securities. So, and you have to, I wanted to write about this crisis of losing all those maybe even dreams you had when you were a very young person. And then when you grow up and you have more contact with real life, with society, with the job applications and so on.
My second question is, the main character was a woman in your novel. Do you think that there will be any difference if we have the main character as a man?
I do think, yeah. For me, it would not have been possible to write from a male perspective from my first novel, because it's something I don't know. I'm a woman.
Yeah.
But I think that what is kind of typical for a female reaction is that she's not really angry about society. She's rather circling her mind around herself, what she's doing wrong, maybe. So she's the one with a lot of self-doubt. And in the ending, she even kind of hurts herself when she's in the hospital. So it's like she all tries to solve it by herself, inside herself. And I do think that the male reaction could possibly be much more angry, I think, at the outside world.
The main theme of the novel is self-fulfillment and sense of accomplishment. However, I saw that you expressed the theme of friendship very well in the novel. And my question is, do you think that people who don't have a real friend are more vulnerable to be in depression or like to commit suicide?
Yes, I think that's. I mean, a lot of readers tell me that it's quite a dark book I wrote. I mean, they like to read it, but it's a little bit depressing. Yeah. But I think the one really light thing is the friendship between Hannah and Miriam. I think that, and also I wanted to remind especially young women that it's really important to have female friends, because in my own experience, you tend to focus very much on romantic love when you're like beginning 20. It's all about finding the man that loves you, and then you think you imagine you lead the life with this man. I think it has not really changed, not even in Western Europe. And well, love comes and goes nowadays. It's in Austria, in Europe, it's very easy to separate. So I think that friendship is the most important thing actually that we have to make life and all the difficulties that come with life bearable.
Why people are all the time evaluating success in life depending on having a fixed job and a stable emotional relationship or be in love, while having a caring family, having supportive friends, having a good health is very important stuff, which if we miss one of them, our life would be like so difficult. So why people are evaluating success only on these two factors?
I think that's the economic system that basically all the world is dominated by. It's neoliberalism. It's all about having success and having a lot of money. It's not enough to just have money to make a living. You need to have a lot of money to buy the newest iPhone and the biggest flat screen and whatever. So I think it's at least in the Western countries, in the very rich countries, where democracy is kind of it's a natural given. You don't have to fight for it. So it's kind of maybe you become a little bit greedy also. And you don't have to. You don't know how to value just good health. But I think Corona might change that a little bit.
Another time to the hope. As I told you, I found it real, not sad. And however, the overall feeling that it's a little bit of depressed and sad person is experiencing different bad stuff. But I found there is different moments of hope during the novel. Like the times she was sharing with her friend and the dialogue between her and her piano teacher when he told her, can we start from here? Can we start this again? I really like this. It's very simple, but it's very touchy. Like we can say what we want to say. It's a very simple way and direct, but it does everything.
Well, those are the lines that you that stick in mind. At least with my mind, it's like this. That's what you remember for years. Yeah. It might be very simple, just one or two sentences, but you're coming back to it when you're in trouble. if you got good advice once, it's probably many times it's quite simple advice. So
Yeah.
that's helps.
Okay, I can say that your novel like have a very sincere emotions, and I cannot imagine that someone can write this sincere emotions without experience some of these emotions in real life.
I think I could not I could not write about anything that I cannot relate in a way to. So it's all based upon personal experience and memories, but they're transformed. So it's not autobiographical. I have lived in Berlin, but I didn't do an internship there, and I did not meet Martin Stein there, and it's not it kind of, and I cannot say how it really changes from my memory to the fiction, but I think it's important that there is change. But yes, I'm not I could not invent all of this. I have to be able to rely on my own memory even.
And do you pass by any unemployment period, like a time you don't have any job or like?
Yes, I mean, I finished my studies when I was 29. I got my PhD, and I was working at the university before, and my contract ended just in the same month. Coincidence, unhappy coincidence. And also, I had split up with my boyfriend half a year ago, so I was without apartment as well, and without a relationship. So I really experienced finishing my education and starting from zero, not having anything at all. And it took me some years to get my balance. I started to write to work as a freelance editor then, and I also knew I wanted to become a writer, but it's kind of hard to finance this. So the main adventure was how to find enough money to lead the life. But so yeah, of course, I was in kind of quite a similar situation than Hannah was.
Yeah. Okay, so unemployment is like an international issue with like many young people are facing worldwide. However, in Western communities, young people have to support their own fees, and they have to pay their bills and the rent and different things. The difference is between Eastern or our community is like young people can stay at family's home until they until they get married or until forever.
Yeah.
Until they don't have an apartment, they don't have a job, they don't have a relationship. It's fine. So, however, in Western society, young people have to be independent from the age of 18.
Not really, because for the fees, very often parents pay. I think they even are obligated to pay until they really their kids finished higher education. If they have enough money, they should pay. So it's but of course many move out from home and have to change the city, and then they live in an apartment, and of course they have to get a job and start earning their own money. So maybe there is more pressure at the younger age. I think it is more pressure. At the same time, it gives them more freedom. I think it's you develop a different lifestyle if you're on your own for a period of time when you're doing studies at the university. I think it's completely different if you're still living at home with your parents, or if you're really on your own. So that's a very good thing too, I think.
Thinking about Hannah, that when someone move from their country to another country, do you believe that people are more willing to accept things they usually do not accept in their home country? Like she accepted to work in a low job, or like not that meet her qualifications and experience, just because she needs money. So,
yeah, I think every migrant is in a weaker position. They have to take what they can get. So even on her level, I think it's you are there, you're not at home, and yeah, well, it's you're not in the most powerful position, so it's kind of natural, and I think it's a real problem.
Do you believe that if Hannah was still in her relationship, or they agreed to still in touch, not everyone will be independent, this will change her situation for good for her?
I could imagine, yeah, because she would feel more supported. I think it would be a totally different mindset for her, because she would not feel so lonely. She would feel like she has a second friend to Miriam. There is another one who is still interested in what she's doing and how she is. So I think this makes all the difference.
Do you think that family support and or family protection, as we can call it, whatever, is contradicting with the desire of being free for the young people? Like, they believe that there is a contradiction between having family support and being free or independent.
I think it's kind of healthy that Hannah does not want to be paid for everything, or does not want to have this kind of support, because it shows that she really wants to be on her own. And to me, that's what being an adult is about. I think really you should not be too independent, even financially, on your parents. I mean, emotionally, you are in a way. Maybe if it's a good family, then you are all your life, I think. But still, I think it's about growing up is about being on your own, and so I think it's a healthy impulse. Because I know that it's also a problem in Western societies, then that young people do not really want to grow up, even so. For example, in Japan, you have I think it's called hikikomori. The boys and girls, they're just sitting at home. They're not going outside at all. They don't leave the house, and they are provided with food and with everything they need by the parents. But for me, it's all a sign of a Great Depression. Because when you're young, you should want to go out, and you should want to conquer the world, and you should want to do it on your own, on your terms.
My last question is, if you have one advice you would like to share with young people who are facing the same situation with Hannah, to change things for better, what would be this advice?
You're not alone. Remember this. Everybody practically feels the same, and get to know yourself and what you really, really are passionate for, and don't give up. So basically 3 things.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks for asking the questions. Very good questions.
Thank you so much. It because of your good writing. It's not because of me. I really like what you did. So thank you so much. It was really nice having you. I really enjoyed reading your novel, and I kept recommending it to my friends. So
thank you very much. Yeah.
Good luck.
I watched a few of your booktube.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it very much. Of course, I don't speak Arabic, not yet. Maybe I'm starting to learn. But I think it's very important what you're doing. And I think it's very nice that in Egypt so many young people seem to read, because it's going down here quite a lot, and I think that's very important. Yeah.
يا رب الحلقة تكون عجبتكم. لو حبيتوا الحلقة افتكروا تعملوا لايك وشير وكومنتس، واكتبوا ايه اكتر حاجة عجبتكم في الحلقة، واكتبوا لنا كمان لو انتوا مريتوا بأزمة ال30 وتعاملتوا معاها ازاي وايه اللي حصل لكم فيها. باي باي.